How you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing good, Jason.
It's so good to see you. Yeah, I'm glad
Thank
we
you.
finally got a chance to get together.
Yes.
How's your day been?
It's been good. Yeah, I'm glad we're here at Starbucks. I'm really thirsty.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah. Well, how about this? How about I go ahead and grab your drink? What do you like?
Venti pike with cream.
Venti pike with cream.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you so much.
This is like my third cup of coffee today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I drink coffee like all day. But I'm trying not to drink any right now, so.
Oh, okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Cool.
Okay, well, so I got your information from Cheryl, and she said that you may be interested in buying a house. So I'm glad that we got a chance to get together, because what I want to do today is just kind of go over the home buying process and what goes on, really kind of see where you're at, your thoughts and everything, so that you can actually plan to purchase a home. So that's kind of why we're here. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Perfect. Well, I won't take up too much of your time. We'll probably just be 15 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
I won't make
That's
it too
pretty
long.
quick.
Yeah, I have a nice little presentation here for you.
Oh, sweet. Looks good, too.
Yeah, well, I know some people are like visual people, so,
That's definitely
instead of
good.
just talking to you. But let me just warn you, it is going to be a little bit of information that we go over, and you may not remember it all.
Okay.
So one cool thing about me is I have like videos for every step of the process. And so I'm
cool.
going to send you videos along the way.
Sweet.
But the first thing that I want to get into is to buy or not to buy, really, because I like to get a sense of kind of where your head is. Why do you want to purchase a home right now, or why are you thinking about it right now? Kind of what's going on in your situation.
Well, I've been renting for, pretty much quite some time now, and I've been in Dallas.
Okay.
And my rent's so high.
Is it?
Yeah, well, I'm in a one bedroom, and my rent per month's like $18.50 in Dallas.
Where you stay?
I'm in Uptown.
See, well, no, I love Uptown. I live in
It's all about
Uptown
that
also.
vibe,
Yeah, no, I live there as well. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it can get kind of pricey.
Yeah, dude.
Where at in Uptown are you at?
I'm at the Gables.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long you been there?
About 2 years now.
2 years? Okay. Yeah, I mean, they've built so much around there, and it's very nice though.
It's really good. But I mean, I wanted to buy a house because I saw something online.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between like buying and renting.
Right.
And I thought, gosh, if I'm paying this much in rent, what does it even look like? And that's really why I wanted to meet, because just to see kind of like how the process is, but also how much it would cost me.
For sure. Yeah. Well, the money's important, but I mean, the fact that you are renting and that you're thinking about buying, it tells a lot about you. This is definitely a smart investment, and to take you out of paying someone else's mortgage, because that's essentially what you're doing. Depending on what product you want, it could be a little bit more, it could be less, but it's going to be yours at the end of the day.
Okay.
And that's what really matters, because you're going to start building equity and really building that financial freedom for the future. So, funny you say that.
Oh.
Speaking of the money, our first step is getting you pre-approved. So what a pre-approval is, a pre-approval tells you, me, the lender, other agents, the homeowners, basically what you can afford in a home. So what's going to happen is you're going to fill out an application, and you're going to work with the mortgage lender that is going to pull your application. They're going to run your credit. They're going to take a look at your finances. They're going to take a look at all of your debts and everything like that, and they're going to give us a number. They're going to say, based on this, and you're of course going to have a discussion with them, and based on how much you want to pay and how much money you have, this is what you can comfortably afford to keep you at a certain monthly amount. And that's the number that you want, because obviously...
Quick question.
Yep.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. What's up?
So, I mean, do I just need to call Chase?
I got you on all that. No.
Okay.
So
that's where I've been, that's where I do all my checking and savings.
Yeah.
They keep telling me they have low rates.
Right.
Do I go with them, or what would you recommend?
So is this the first home you've ever purchased?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't be too concerned about all that flashy stuff right now, because I would want to put you with somebody that can really sit down with you and make sure that you understand how this process goes. We tend to work better with more local lenders, and there's a reason why. You get a certain level of service. that I feel like you, especially living in Uptown, and I know the kind of service that
mean,
you're probably used to,
hey.
you're gonna want more personalized and specialized service. So I have somebody that I can definitely recommend to you, and they're just gonna sit down with you. They're going to, or y'all can do it over the phone, whatever works for y'all, and explain to you the process when it comes to the money side. Now, I don't like to get too much into the money because that's not my job. Yeah.
I need to.
No problem.
It's okay. No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like to get too much into the money stuff because that's why we have lenders and that's their job. But I will tell you, this is going to be our first step in the whole process.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Now, you mentioned credit.
Mm-hmm.
When they do that, is it going to affect my scores or anything like that?
That's going to be it is a full-on credit application. But how it's going to affect you, that's going to be a question that I would want you to talk to him about. Okay. And so anything related to the money now and even during the process, I'm going to refer you over to the lender. And the reason why I do that is because I specialize in the real estate side. So I specialize in finding you the home, facilitating this transaction, and our mortgage lenders, and we work very closely with them. They specialize in the money and the credit and all that type of stuff. So I don't want to put you in the wrong direction. I don't want to say something to you about that and they tell you something different, but I do want to put you with somebody that I trust, that I know is going to give you all the right information and answer every one of your questions. So I'll give you that today before you leave, so that way you can hop right on the phone with them, and I'll also give them your information. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Perfect. So once we get that pre-approval, what we're gonna do after that is we're gonna actually start shopping for the home, because we have our number, and
so the lender's gonna tell me how much I'm.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the lender's gonna give you that dollar amount.
Okay.
And they're gonna provide us with it as well, so that way I know what to find you. Okay. I'm going to take what you want, your criteria and all that kind of stuff, and I'm going to find the properties that closely, that best match that as close as possible. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's not a perfect property out here, all right?
Oh.
But my job is to get you as close to what you want as possible. Unless you want to build a custom home from the ground up, then we can build your perfect property. So,
all right.
So you do have that option. But we're going to go out and shop for a home, and we'll shop based on your schedule, whatever's convenient for you. The great thing about us is we are a team, and so there's multiple agents that can help you. Oh. If I'm not available to show you something at any point in time, I can make sure that it can get shown to you. So that's just one thing that sets us apart.
And if you guys are not available, am I able to do it on my own, go look at a property?
We'll be available.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Oh, all perfect.
Right. Yep. All right. After that, after we find that home, one that you can see yourself in, we're going to make an offer. Okay. Now, most people think an offer is simply sales price, but there's so much more when it comes to an offer that we really want to take into consideration, even when we talk about sales price. So the big obvious one is sales price, and I'm sure you've seen like a lot of shows where they'll say, "Oh, this home is going for $500,000. Let's offer $475." Well,
and I'm on Zillow all the time too.
Yeah.
I mean, are those accurate numbers? Because
I wouldn't rely on that site. No, I'm gonna give you a link that's better.
Oh, okay.
That's linked directly to our MLS. It updates every 15 minutes.
Oh.
And it's gonna give you the most accurate information.
Okay.
Okay. But I know everybody likes to search on Zillow, but they do have some inaccuracies. So sales price is one of those things. We're going to run some comps to determine what a good sales price is and what a good offer price is. After that, we are going to also negotiate title policy. Title policy is something that we typically get the sellers to pay, but it's negotiable. And I'll talk about title in just a minute.
Oh, okay.
Then there's closing costs. So closing costs, that's another number. You've probably heard that before if you've watched any real estate TV shows where they say, "Oh, we want our closing costs paid." So that's what that is. It's basically the additional money that you have to bring to the table outside of your down payment to get the transaction closed.
How much is that typically?
It's going to vary per property.
Okay.
Typically between 2% and 3%. but it just depends on the actual property of the sales price.
Okay.
Yep. And then there's home warranty. So something that a lot of people get a little nervous about when buying a home is, I'm scared something's going to break, especially for first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
So what a home warranty does is it kind of covers you on some of those major things in the home that a lot of people are afraid
insurance?
of. It's kind of like an insurance policy,
okay.
but it's a warranty policy for things that are inside of the home. So we're talking your hot water heater, maybe your appliances, so stoves, refrigerators, AC, things like that. It's going to cover that stuff. So I'm going to definitely try to negotiate you a home warranty, but something about us, and I'm going to tell you in just a minute,
okay.
We're going to always make sure that you have a home warranty.
Okay.
Because
cool.
I just like my clients to have that.
That makes me feel good.
Absolutely. And then option time, and I'm going to talk about option time in just a minute, and then closing date. So, people like competitive closing dates, and that can set us apart from another offer if our closing date is not too long. Okay? So those are all the things that go into an actual offer, but we're going to actually work with your lender and work with you just to make sure that everything that we're putting in an offer can actually work, and we're not biting off more than we can chew. Okay? After we make that offer and we get our offer accepted, then we're going to open up title, which I'm going to get into in just a second. When you get your offer accepted, there are some expenses that you're going to have to come out with up front. And I like to tell everybody this because a lot of people, they don't know this. So a few things that you're going to have to pay for is, one is going to be your earnest money. Your earnest money is your good faith money, and it's typically 1% of the sales price. So this tells the sellers that, hey, you're a real buyer, you can afford this, you are taking this thing seriously. Okay? This money sticks with the title company, and when you purchase the home, it gets credited back to you. Okay?
Okay.
Next is going to be your option money. So there's something called option period, which I'm going to go deeper into option period, but there's a cost associated with your option period, and this goes directly to the sellers. Typically, this is anywhere between $100 to $250, but it's one of those things that's negotiable. Kind of the more money that you're putting down for option, it may help you stand out against other contracts.
Okay.
Okay. Next is going to be your inspection. Now, an inspection is not mandatory, but I definitely encourage you to get an inspection on a property, and you are going to have to pay for your own inspection. You can use any inspection company that you want, and I can definitely provide you with recommendations, but that is an out-of-pocket cost to you. And this cost varies based on the actual property because most inspectors go by square footage of the home. So, the larger the house, typically the higher the inspection cost is going to be. Okay?
Okay.
You have a question?
I do. So
Yeah.
I see appraisal right below that, and I'm sure you're about to talk about it, but
Yep.
What's the difference between the inspection and appraisal, and how much do both of those cost?
I'm going to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
So, next, you can see here is the appraisal. So, an appraisal is something that's ordered by the lender. So they are a third-party appraisal company that goes out and checks the true value of the home, because the lender is not going to lend you out more than the home is actually worth. So what an appraiser is going to do, they're going to go out there, they're going to check the home, they're going to look at the comps, and they're going to make sure what you're under contract for is actually what that home is worth. Again, they don't want you paying any more for that home than it's actually worth, so they're going to order an appraisal, and that's something that you're going to pay for as well. Now, inspections and appraisals, two different costs. They do two different things. The inspectors are not going to determine the value of the home. They're not going to be looking at comps or anything. They're just looking at the things that are inside of the home.
Okay.
They're also going to check your roof. They may go underground. They're going to look at all that kind of stuff. It's more so a condition thing. Now, inspections, again, they vary by the square footage of the home. You can be anywhere from like 350 and up. But it's just going to go by the size of the home or the condo, whatever we end up getting. And then the appraisals, typically you should be under $500 for that. The lender will be able to let you know how much that appraisal is going to cost, though.
All right. So they'll let me know.
Yep. They're gonna talk to you about appraisals too.
How long does it typically take for the appraisal to come back?
That's something the lender's going to be able to answer for you.
Oh, okay.
It just depends on they're gonna set a date for it, but it just depends on how many appraisals they have and how many the appraiser has and all that kind of stuff. But
Okay.
I'll definitely let them know that that's a concern of yours.
Sure.
So
that'd be great.
that way I'll make sure that they speak with you about that. All right, we're going to be opening up title on that, or opening escrow. You may have heard that term before, but we work with title companies here in Texas, and what title companies are, they are the third parties that kind of facilitate the whole transaction. So they don't really work for us, and they don't really work for the sellers, but they're the ones in the middle that make sure that the home that you're purchasing, you're going to own it free and clear. Sometimes things can come up with these homes. Like, people can pop up with purchase agreements that nobody knew existed, or somebody might have willed a home to somebody on a napkin. There may be liens on something. So the title company is going to check all that type of stuff to make sure that the home that you're moving into is actually free and clear of all of that.
This may be a dumb question.
What's up?
What's a lien?
A lien is basically, let's just say that you get some yard work done and you don't pay the people who do the yard work, and so they put a lien on your property that basically says you can't sell it or anything like that until they get paid.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's different types of liens, but that's the most simplest one. I mean, there's tax liens, there's all kinds of stuff out there, but it doesn't need to be a concern of yours, because that's why we use title companies, to make sure that you're not getting yourself in that situation.
And one more question, if I can.
Yep.
Do we decide who the title company is? Who decides who this third party is?
Yeah, it's whoever, to be honest with you. I mean, sellers have a preference. If you have a preference, we can definitely put that on the contract.
Okay.
I have recommendations for companies that I've done a lot of deals with, that I know work very well, especially with first-time home buyers.
Oh, okay.
But it's one of those things that's negotiable.
Perfect.
Yep. All right. So during our option period, that's that period of time that I told you that you get right after we go into contract. This is typically, we like to negotiate 7 to 10 days for this, just to give you enough time to do everything that needs to be done. But this is your due diligence period. So it's going to be the time that you can really decide whether you want to get this home. And you can base that on the inspections, you can base that on your family opinions, on just what you feel about the home, whatever. But you have the option during this period to back out if you want to, free and clear.
Oh.
All right?
Well, do I get that earnest money that I...
You get your earnest money back. You're not going to get that option money back. Okay?
How much is that typically?
Between $100 to $500. It's negotiable.
That's not bad.
Yeah. We don't typically like to put a big dollar amount on that, because you do have that option to back out, and if you do back out, you lose that option money. But essentially, you're just paying the seller to take the home off the market and make it available to you to let you do all of these. So during this option period, we have to handle your inspections. If anything comes up that we want to ask the sellers to repair or anything like that, we have to negotiate this stuff during the option period. Okay? After option period, that's when things get really serious. Okay? Not to scare you though.
I'm scared.
No, don't be scared. But this time is really the time that you want to really decide whether you want the house or not.
Okay.
Essentially. Okay?
So I'm on the hook at this point.
Yep.
Kind of. Pretty much.
Kind of.
Okay.
After option period, we move into something called pending. During pending, you're gonna work more so with the lender. Okay? I'll still be here. I'll still be facilitating everything, but you're going to notice that you're going to be working more so with the lender. They're going to ask you to verify things. They're going to ask you to sign things, all that kind of stuff. The biggest piece of advice for this pending period is try to get them whatever they need as soon as possible, because we're on kind of a... Hold on 1 minute, Lewis. Sorry. We're on kind of a timeline here. And so we want to make sure that we're not dropping the ball on anything. So anything the lender asks you to provide, definitely try to get that to them as soon as possible. If you have questions about it, ask them the questions, do what you need to do. But we must make sure that we're keeping the ball rolling.
Okay.
All right? I'm going to bring up appraisal again, because like I discussed previously, an appraisal is going to get done. And it typically gets done during this pending period. So the lender, just to refresh you, they're going to send somebody out there to check on the value and determine the true value of the home.
Okay.
All right. Now, a couple things can happen. The value could come in above the price that we're under contract for, or it can come in below. If it comes in above, you're essentially moving into a house with equity already.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, no, it would be nice. If it comes in below, then we have to figure out something. So one of four things can happen if it comes in below. All right, the sellers, they can come down on their sales price to the appraised value. All right, you as the buyer, you can put up the additional cash to meet the sellers at the sales price. All right, we could negotiate to where maybe we're both meeting in the middle, to where you're bringing some cash and the seller's coming down, or, and we don't like this to happen, but the whole deal can kind of fall apart then. Okay, but that's what happens at the appraisal. All right.
Gotcha.
And it's just something that I like you to know about ahead of time, because again, the lender is not going to lend out any more than the property's worth.
I have a question.
Yep.
So let's say this happens after option period.
Mm-hmm.
If it's after option and we decided to kill the deal, do I lose my earnest money too?
You'll get your earnest money back. Well,
Okay.
we have another period called financing period.
Okay.
And the lender's probably going to tell you a little bit more about that as well.
Okay.
But it's something that we try to make sure this gets done more sooner rather than later, so we're not getting in too deep.
So when do they order the appraisal?
They can order the appraisal right when we go into contract if you want.
Oh.
But
Okay, so it's pretty quick.
there's options for
I
it.
gotcha.
You
Okay.
know. After that, we're going to kind of prep for closing more. So something that you're going to notice, I'm going to be sending you recommendations for insurance agents, home warranty, getting your utilities set up, all that kind of stuff. It's basically just prepping you to actually move into the home. So just look out for that. If you have these people already, so if you have an insurance agent that you use, you're more than welcome to let them run quotes for you. I have a few recommendations that can help you out, but we're going to take care of all those things at this point. All right? And then after that, we're going to do a final walkthrough. So any repairs that we negotiated, we want to make sure that they actually got done. And so we're going to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to do that shortly before closing, 24 to 48 hours at the max, because I don't want you signing documents for a home with things that aren't completed the way
that I'm
that
not
they should
cool
be.
with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to take care of that. And then we move on to closing. So closing is where the magic happens.
Oh,
All
magic,
right.
okay.
Closing.
I'm a big Disney fan. What kind of magic are we talking about?
Closing is where it all goes down.
Okay.
So at closing, you're going to sign all of the documentation that's needed. So all the legal forms that's going to basically put a house in your name. Okay. At closing, you're also going to pay your down payment and closing costs. So this is when the big money is going to get paid. You're going to get these values ahead of time, though, so you're going to know what you're going to be looking at out of pocket. The lender's going to provide.
But
you
I'm
with
going to know
that.
that before.
You're going to know that
Okay.
before closing.
Okay. Cool.
But this is where it all goes down. So you're going to sign. The sellers are going to sign, and after everything is all done, and after the money's been exchanged, you're going to have the keys to your new house, and
Okay.
it's all done. Okay, so.
Well, actually,
Yep. What's up?
when do I make my first payment?
So you're gonna make your first payment typically like 45 days, or it can even be 2 months. It could be 1 month. I'll let the lender know that that's something that you want to know as
Okay,
well.
cool. Fair
Because
enough.
again, and I know I'm referring you over to the lender for a lot of things, but like I said in the beginning, we want to go to them for anything concerning money, mortgage, all that kind of stuff, because that's what they do. All right.
Understood.
So I'm gonna definitely let them know that you have these questions ahead of time so that they could be prepped for them. But that's gonna be another one of those money questions.
Okay. I'm
All
sorry
right.
to interrupt. I know.
No, you're good. What's up?
No. For sorry to interrupt for that other question.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm just nervous.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No. See, yeah, and I mean, all this can be nerve-wracking, and like I said at the beginning, this is a lot of information, and so my job is to guide you through this whole process, to make sure that there's no mistakes being made, to make sure that everything stays on track, and to essentially make sure that you're getting the right house for you. You know, one that you are actually gonna like, and I want to help you get that. So that's my job. Everything that I do, I mean, I've been doing it for a while, so I know this stuff in and out, and my duty is to take care of you. I'm not gonna lie to you; it's gonna be stressful. You're gonna have moments. This is a big decision, okay? But when you have these moments, you call me and we'll talk it out, okay? Or we can go to lunch or go to brunch or something, you know, and we'll get it done. But
Okay.
you know, there's a lot of moving parts, and it is a big deal. But once it's all over and done, you're gonna be so happy, and we're gonna throw you a party, and you know, you're gonna love your new house. Okay.
All right.
All right. So you ready to get started?
I think I am.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do it. We just have to take care of a little bit of paperwork, and then we will be on our way. All right. All right.
Perfect.